All right, hi everyone. Welcome to today's Fireside Chat, coming to you live from QuickBooks Connect San Jose and streaming right on the Method Facebook page. I'm your host, Rodrigo Fernandez, and I'm Director of Marketing at Method Integration, the makers of Method CRM. We built Method CRM exclusively for all versions of QuickBooks. That means QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, and Method is the highest rated CRM by QuickBooks users and ProAdvisors, which is awesome. Now, beyond the CRM, Method is also a no-code platform. As a matter of fact, we built the CRM on this incredible no-code platform. And that has allowed ProAdvisors and small business users to build personalized workflows, personalized apps to meet the unique demands that their businesses need. So for a free 30-day trial, please visit our website, www.method.me/QBC18. We have a special deal for you. So we have a red hot topic to discuss with some world-class guests, this awesome panel that I have here. But before I introduce them, I want to let you know that during this Fireside Chat, we will be taking questions. So as we're discussing our topic, and these wonderful people are sharing insights, type in your questions on the right-hand side where you have the comment section, and our wonderful social butterfly, Alvina, from the Method team will relay it back to my earpiece in this very intricate setup. So, first of its class, so if we make a mistake, please forgive us. All right. So, with great pleasure, let me introduce these wonderful folks in no particular order.
No.
Brad Celmainis, he's a QuickBooks Online Platinum Pro Advisor, an Intuit Certified Pro Advisor, and founder of Brad Celmainis Accounting Solutions. Brad manages the Calgary Accounting and Finance Network, the largest Calgary-centric accounting and finance group on LinkedIn. He is co-organizer of the most popular small business meetup group in Calgary, the Calgary Business Professional Group, as well as an active member of the Calgary Chamber of Commerce and an avid supporter of Small Business Week. And he also loves to ride in a scooter.
That had to come up, yeah. I guess I need the mic for that.
Next, we have Robin Hall. Robin is the driving force of VARC Solutions, an Intuit Advisory Board member, and one of the original Intuit solution providers. She's a sought-after instructor and speaker for venues such as Scaling New Heights, of course, QuickBooks Connect, the Intuit Solution Provider Conference, CNN Radio, and Radio Free QuickBooks. In addition to being an award-winning Intuit solution provider, Robin has also been named one of the most powerful women in accounting.
Powerful.
Wow.
Should I be nervous?
You should. You should.
Laura, will you protect me?
Next we have Laura Redmond. Laura is founder of Redmond Accounting Inc., a boutique cloud accounting in Silicon Valley that was awarded Intuit's Top 20 Firm of the Future. She is also a Top 10 Pro Advisor for leading QuickBooks Online practice, and she's a co-founder of Cloud Accountancy and the co-creator of Arrow Workflow app. Now, Arrow, which is an amazing QuickBooks app, gives accounting firms the tools they need to take the firm's knowledge capital and put it to work by integrating their processes and procedures with tasks, making firms much more efficient, scalable, and profitable. So, welcome, Laura.
Thank you. And we first built that on the Method platform.
Amazing. Beyond CRM. Beautiful. And last but not least, we have Heather Satterley. Heather is the founder of Satterley Training and Consulting LLC, a Rhode Island-based consulting firm focused on helping accounting professionals learn and master the QuickBooks ecosystem. And I may say she is also the Zapier queen. She's an advanced certified pro advisor and a member of the exclusive Intuit Trainer Writer Network. Heather is also a co-host of the QB Happy Hour with Liz and Heather, which is an amazing monthly webinar series. If you're not watching that series, you are missing out.
And you can register at www.qbhappyhour.com.
QBhappyhour.com. After you watch this webinar.
Watch the webinar first.
Finally, Heather was also named a top QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor in 2017 and the top 100 ProAdvisors from 2014 to 2018 by insightful accountants. So welcome. So welcome everyone. First question here. Okay, so Chief Marketing Technologist Scott Brinker said that he believes two things are true, referring to the rapid changes in marketing technology, but I think it applies everywhere. The first one is that technology is changing very rapidly, and those changes seem to be accelerating. So there's no slowdown of technology changes. The second one is a change in an organization, how it thinks and how it behaves according to these changes is still very hard and slow. Do you think the same idea applies to the accounting industry? And how can accountants and pro-advisors embrace this reality? Who would like to go first?
I'll start saying absolutely it applies to us. All of us have to stay really up to date on the new technology, and then we also have to, one of my partners often quotes her Austrian ski instructor who says, keep the knees bent, right? So you have to kind of stay ready to change, ready to turn fast, right? At the same time, you can, as you watch the landscape, it does move fast, but there are many things also where we're at the forefront. So it's not that something that you put into play is going to go away 2 days later. You want to stay up to date on the newest things, but a lot of the things you put in play, you can use that for many years to come.
Absolutely, and I would add to that as you implement apps and you start to change your firm, that those apps also evolve. So new features are added all the time, and technology that you're using today will have more functionality tomorrow. And so also creating a relationship with those app partners and the vendors and helping them to educate you about those new features is a really great way to stay on top of the changes in the entire industry, really.
Yeah, you can just be deliberate about making those choices instead of on the far back end where your clients keep asking you about it and you're the person that says, I don't know, I've never seen that. So get out in front of it.
You brought up a good point, Laura. You mentioned sticking with what you already know sometimes. That could be the best option. I find having loyalty with an app partner is really important. So we see things changing all the time, but that doesn't mean we have to go running after it. I think we talk about the shiny toy syndrome. There's so many changes. I mean, we see it here at QuickBooks Connect on the App Showdown, all these new tools coming out. So just jumping at everything isn't necessary. So there's this rapid acceleration of new apps, but it doesn't mean you have to jump out and be the first one to use it. Some people will. There's a balancing act because, we have relationships that go back several years with some of these partners, and someone might come out and offer something different, but it doesn't mean you're just going to go out and leave because you're working with something that works really well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's kind of the way I look at it.
And I agree with that. I think for us, when we add in some apps or we look at different apps, I really try and bring them in and try and use them internally first to make sure that I know all the ins and outs, because every one of these app developers are going to tell us they're the best thing since sliced bread. So if I use it or I know someone else is using it, if I know Laura's using a tool, I know that's tried and true. I know that she's gone through and done that vetting. So knowing what other pro-advisors are using some of these other apps is really important to me. So knowing what it can do, because I know I can go to her and go, okay, I see it can do all this, but give me the real lowdown. Tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what I need to be able to watch out for. So I can, if I know where maybe some of the pitfalls are, because they're all going to have a pitfall or another. So, but if I know where they are, then I can plan and I can train around those. So I think it's important to really have our network to support those apps so that we're leaning on each other to know the good and the bad on them.
Excellent. So in terms of the app ecosystem and your practice, specialist or jack of all trades, right? As an accounting professional and business consultant, what is better? What is a better approach when building your technology stack, and why?
I'll start because I've got the mic. So, I actually go back and forth on this a lot because, we're told find a niche, find your niche, and for a long time I was always like, well, QuickBooks is my niche, and so if you're writing a check or you're paying bills or you're doing different things, whether you're an engineering firm or just another services firm, they're doing those core functionalities the same. I do think apps bring that a different light on that, because then they are specializing on that. So it's taking that niche industry a little bit further. So I'm still kind of teetering back and forth, and so it depends on what day that you're going to ask me is what answer I'm going to have on that. But for the most part, I'm still kind of a generalist on there. But more and more as I'm seeing some of these apps, I think that can be taking a turn.
I tried to be a jack of all trades once, and it didn't work for me. I was just all over the map. I was trying to do too many things at once, and I couldn't be good at anything. Not great at anything, I was just average at things. And I found that, and we say it niche in Canada, in my niche. So in my niche, a dear friend of my network who's a marketing specialist said, you got to find your niche. And when people ask me that now, my niche is really the type of client I take on. I was telling somebody that last night. I know when I have a connection with an entrepreneur that I want to do business with them, and if I don't have a connection, I don't take that on. And the reason I feel it as a niche is that there's a certain type of person I could work with. If I see somebody right away, you talk about apps and they get all nervous and wary and they start making excuses. In the back of my mind, I'm going, I don't think I want to work with this person. So I like people to be receptive to the change, but I don't have this massive app stack. I know what's out there and I pay attention. If I have a specific need for a specific industry, for a specific client, then I investigate it. And what you said, Robin, about having Laura and Heather out there as our proving ground, because you guys are trying new things and you've tried new things, and we have so many people in our communities on social media that you can rely on people to sort of fill in the blanks for you, as you said, and they know where the skeletons are. You don't necessarily see it out in the open, but you have these candid conversations and you can get the straight dope on what these things do, and that's kind of how I learn. And a big thing is, you mentioned you want to know how it works.
Right.
So if you can't use it with your own business, it's hard to really know the app. So I'm not a manufacturer. There's a big manufacturing app out there. I need a client to try it on. So definitely, I'm definitely more of a specialist in that I stick a little tighter app stack and then vary it as needed based on the client.
I love what you said about not necessarily having a niche industry, but a niche client. So that's actually a different take on that, and I love that, because I think that's the personality fit. You can work through some of those industry differences, but you always can't work through personality differences. So I love that.
Where I was really different than a lot, I am a Canadian CPA, but I don't do public. Well, I don't do anything traditional. No compliance work, no tax work. I barely dabble in bookkeeping. I was in industry, so I learned lots of different businesses when I was in industry, and I get to apply that now. And having these apps makes it so much, it makes it fun, because I can work with businesses in a different way. My 20 years of experience in industry combined with these really cool tools, and I can solve these really cool problems for them. And you get this energy from your client when they're smiling and laughing and saying, this is great, I finally see my business the way it's meant to be. And those are the clients I look for, and that's my niche. People that'll appreciate it. If you're making excuses, I know right away that's a red flag, and why take the client on in the first place?
Right. There are hundreds and hundreds of apps in that app store. So apps.com is the domain name that's owned by Intuit. It'll correct itself to apps.intuit.com. But that app store means that it has been vetted by Intuit. It's a secure app. It's passed all of their rigorous checklist items. They try to hack and break your app. So if you make it onto the app store, you can feel good as a business, as a small business, or as an accounting firm that is advising your small business to use this app. It's a safe place to shop for it. Now, having said that, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I can't possibly know them all. There are a very few that we use because they work for us providing accounting services firms. So I run an accounting service. I also have, Aero app and Method Consulting separately, but speaking as the owner of an accounting firm, we use a bill pay app, we use a credit card expense management app, we use Method CRM. Method has been central to us as a firm since the beginning. So we have a few that we work on. Now, when clients and when I teach QuickBooks around the country and talk to other business owners and accountants, they want other things. I may not know it well, but I can safely tell them to go to the App Store and do a search there in the directory, and then you can read reviews, you can try a free trial of it. So the App Store has got a lot of options for a lot of people. But you don't have to know every one of them. Don't be scared of the App Store. And let me also say this.
You're not going to be able to know everyone.
You can't know all of them.
No way.
But it's an amazing opportunity for people. I mean, if you're looking for new business and you're, running a service business, an accounting service business especially, you can narrow in if you want to become an inventory expert or something, because the rest of us don't want to touch inventory. So, we'll send you our business. But also, let me say this. I hear a lot of people say, oh, you have to get an extra app for that. I have to hook it up. Well, that's not hard, first of all. They've made that very easy. And I have to pay extra for that. Let me just encourage you to look for the savings you're going to find, usually in reduced labor, by automating things with an app. So jump into it. Hook it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as we were talking about, niche, we have lots of different, we see that in lots of different areas, especially as our industry is changing, right? So sure, you can niche by industry for your clients or type of client or even tech stack, right? So we see a lot of firms that, as Laura said, are finding the right tools for them, and then they're able to scale that across all of their clients. So that's one way to go. Another way to go is what Laura and I have done, where we niche in a particular process or a particular technology that we've just really learned really well, and we're able to use our expertise to help others to leverage the same technology. So you see all different models of niching in our industry, and all different ways that you can build tech stacks. So
in building a profitable accounting firm, a profitable consulting firm, a profitable customer, because at the end goal of what you do as consultants is to ensure that your customers build wealth. What are some of those key apps that you've found that have helped you build or have allowed you to become profitable internally and for your customers?
Well, for me, it won't be any surprise that one of my main technologies is Zapier, which is an automation technology that allows me to create custom automations, both for myself and for my clients. And what I really like about that technology is that there's over 1,200 apps that are on the Zapier platform. So usually, I think I've done a poll of the students that are in my Zapier workshop session, and there's about 60% of the apps that they use overall of all the students that I've had are on that Zapier platform. So it's really nice because you can spend a little bit of time setting up an automation that's going to give back to you for months and years to come, so you can basically focus on other parts of your business that are more profitable, like advising and consulting, rather than actually doing those mundane, repetitive tasks.
Yeah, and just another plug for Zapier, and she really is the queen of it. I'm in her course right now, and I knew how to use Zapier, but it was like a blank sheet of paper. I was like, I just need some ideas of what to zap around the universe. And so it is a really great tool because, for example, Method has the tightest two-way sync, automatic sync to QuickBooks. Awesome, that's there. But what if you wanted to zap things between other apps that don't have the integration built yet? So that's a really cool one. I'll call out QuickBooks Online, of course. Awesome, best tool for measuring profitability. Record money in and money out, and then look at whether you're making money or not. So, and then I'll call out Bill.com and Expensify. I want to call those out as just major game changers for us on automating that accounting workflow. And then just again, Method has been central to us since the beginning. We use it for the CRM in our firm. I use it just as much, maybe more on my own firm to build out custom, unique sales onboarding processes. Not just a process on a flow chart, but I mean interactive, so that your client can do something and you're recording it because it's a back end to your sales system. And then we'll use it on clients when you go to create invoices for a customer, for a business, there's no approval on the invoice, right? You just create an invoice. What if your customer, the business, wants to approve invoices? So you can easily build that in Method because all of the invoices are sitting there in Method. You just build a little approval screen there. Oh, it's easy. Just build a little screen there. But I mean, honestly, I love to build and I can't code, so I need Method. I'm born for Method. So thank you, Method.
That's awesome. I'll plug Zapier a bit too. I'm a total noob. I get one thing to zap and I get all excited, and I hear Heather talk about, was it 45 or something?
I had a
48 step zap.
Yeah.
I think I have a really cool three one.
It's not really a zap. It's
A three-step
bigger
zap,
than
and
a
I
zap.
keep it turned off just so it doesn't zap by accident on me. I am still testing, so it's really cool. The upside is amazing, and I love the potential of it. With me, I'm a solopreneur in Calgary. I'm like any other business owner. My first couple of years were pretty grim as a small business owner. I felt a lot of pain on the cash management front because there wasn't a lot of cash coming in. It wasn't hard to manage when you don't have much, but I hit a point where I hit a kind of a state where I was trying to grow my business, and I was typical entrepreneur. Everyone says, oh, you're a CPA, you must know how to do bookkeeping and accounting. Well, of course I do, but it doesn't mean I want to. And I was in a paper-based system. I was printing out, making binders for myself, going, what am I even doing? It was like this old school way of doing things, so I just stopped altogether, and paper started piling up, and I started to get a little nervous because I'm really good at cash management, but it was all in my head all of a sudden. I didn't really know where I was, so Receipt Bank changed the way that I do my business. It got me together, it got me organized, it got me paperless. It saves all my stuff. I literally don't have to store anything anywhere. I rip my paper up. I'm not one of these people that says I'm going to take a picture of it and then I'm going to keep it. I just get rid of it. So the passion that I put into learning it in my own business is now a business opportunity, and I'm a Receipt Bank partner, and I have a lot of clients on it, and I just sell them on the love of the tool. It's a very simple tool. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and we talked about cost earlier. The cost is not what you got to focus on. It's the return on that cost. Exactly. What's the result worth, the value, the return on investment? And I've really been able to demonstrate, because Receipt Bank and the other tools like HubDoc and Auto Entry, there's a really big ROI there, but people get hung up on that $20 a month, and it's like, really? $20 a month? That is really a problem? So it's easy for me to sell the value, and people are jumping at it. So that's one tool that I use extensively for my own, and it's a revenue stream, and Receipt Bank's a great partner. Obviously, I've dealt with Method as well, and you guys do have the best QuickBooks compatible optimized CRM out there, and a CRM really helped me personally. I was getting out of control. You become a victim of your own success, and I literally lost a client once because I literally lost them. I didn't know where their phone number was. I knew they had called, and I was like, how did they reach me again? I couldn't remember, and I found it a while later. Fortunately for me, I apologized like 2 weeks later, and she was okay with it. She said, well, thank you for the honest answer. I get it. And
Use
then
Method
everything's
CRM,
fine.
she said.
Put me in your CRM.
Well, I did say I'm going to use my CRM from now on, so.
So one of the ones that we use is Bill and Pay. I'm not going to mention, I use the ones that you guys use as well, so no sense to rehash that fourth one down here. Bill and Pay we use. One of the ones that changed my business was using T-sheets. So I used to only track my billable time. I'm like, I get paid the same regardless of whether it's billable time or not. And so just tracking my time, all of my time, really kind of changed my focus and made me look at really what I'm looking at and doing. How much admin time am I doing? How much time am I spending on my business? Because sometimes we forget that we're too much in the trenches and we lose sight of that. We need to work on our business. So as accounting professionals, we need to make sure that we're staying relevant in doing that. So T-Sheets is one. It also helps me with knowing while I'm here at the conference what my clients are, what my employees are doing, what they're working on. And then when I'm in the office, if they're working on a client and I have a question with them with that, then while they're clocked in, I can go and talk to them on that client and they're not having to switch gears. Another one that I've really started working with lately is Avalara. And so there's so many changes in the sales tax laws right now. A lot of new laws went into effect in June. So if you thought you knew your stuff in May, you don't know anything now. So, that's another one that's going to change the landscape for accountants with all the new e-Nexus or e-commerce rules. So if you have clients in other states, then it's something that we're all going to have to relearn. And so we have something at our fingertips right now that will help us with that. So I think we need to look at the changing laws around and make sure that the softwares that aren't just popping up today, but that have been around and are tracking those things are helping us as well.
Excellent, excellent. Now, so it's established. A ton of apps out there in the QuickBooks ecosystem, which is amazing. When you're shopping around for an app, what do you look for from app developers as you're putting together your technology stack? You know, what are those things that give you confidence from an app developer that this app is worth bringing in? Because as you know, your technology stack could be fragile too. I mean, an app could make or break your complete system. So what do you look for app developers?
So as new apps are popping up every day, I want to make sure that they're going to be here tomorrow. So, that's why talking to other people that have used it, talking to my friends in this community that I trust their judgment. If they've used it, then they've done a little bit, or what they've done in the past. And have they been around? Do they know what the word SDK or what that means? Are they out there on that app store? And really just talking to them and seeing where their idea came from and what they're trying to solve, so that I know what path that they're going down. So I am cautious with some of the new ones that are popping up, and because I want to make sure that they're here today. I mean, the ones that are here today are here tomorrow, and because they're all looking for funding as well, to make sure, because they're in development mode, and until they sell enough, they've got to cross over that line. So I don't want to put a bunch of clients on something that's then going to be gone soon. So
you bring up a great point about the app partners in general. They're on the App Store, but it's really hard for us as a ProAdvisor to gauge really how large that company is, how well capitalized, how much staff, what's their service like. There's so many variables. I found apps that seem to be bigger than they really are. You find out it's like 2 or 3 people, and they're still working out of their garage or their basement, and they just kick ass. Can I say that?
You just did.
Sorry. Back up a bit. But it's true. Like, some of them really, they seem bigger than they are. And then you find out, it's like, wow, that's awesome. And then others, like the T-Sheets that have, a campus, and they're amazing. They have so much staff. And so you got to sort of evaluate just a bit. But to me, what's really important is when I reach out to an app partner, they get back to me quickly in a reasonable amount of time. I say, I'm a ProAdvisor. I'm interested in your app. I might have a client that could use this app. And then I see how they deal with it from that point on. I like having a good relationship with my app partners. I like to find out, who I need to deal with. And I gauge the quality of an app just on how I'm treated. And to that, ProAdvisor app developers need to understand that I was once accused of being greedy by an app partner because I wanted to know what their ProAdvisor discount was. They said, well, you can pay the same as everyone else. What's the problem with that? And I said, no, but you don't understand. It's not like I'm trying to make money out of this. I don't necessarily want to pay for something just to experiment with it. So having a low or no cost app is a really great way for us to stress test it, throw some real world data at it, maybe try it out on one of our clients on a trial basis. That's what we're looking for. And if for some reason it doesn't work for us, why carry a subscription? So that's the sort of thing that's important to me. And then obviously if there is a program with a discount involved, it gives us the opportunity to maybe build some margin into our services, and it's a win-win because the app partner gets a new client as well through the process. But also, the ProAdvisor, we're hardworking people. We have so many choices out there. We spend a lot of our day in non-billable environment that it's nice to know that maybe all that hard work, there's some return in that. So app partners that are receptive to us as private businesses, those are the ones I latch onto. And I mentioned relationships earlier. Relationships are everything to me, and I'll continue using an app partner because they've shown faith in me. So when the shiny new toy comes along, I won't run for I need that one, sort of thing.
I'll just add to all of that. When I'm looking for an app, I'm usually looking for some movement of data. It's going to serve a purpose somewhere in the workflow, and I don't want to necessarily have a huge and efficient workflow, so I'm looking for it. If I'm going to put it into the process, I want it to do something that I'm not solving to replace some manual work or something like that. So I'm really looking at the feature, what it's bringing to the table, and how efficiently it's going to be integrated into the rest of the apps or to a particular app there. So I'm really looking for the functionality on it above all.
Absolutely, and to kind of expand on what you said is looking at, when I work with a client, I do a lot of consulting to help clients find the right app, and it's really important to look at all the technology that they're using. And so, some apps I'll look at their other integrations, so what other applications do they integrate with as well. And I think that's really important when you're thinking about adopting new technology, is to do that evaluation for your firm or for your client. What are they doing now? What do their processes look like? And how can you want to enhance it, right? You don't want to create more work. And so that's super duper important. So.
Excellent. So I think we're going to open the session for a couple of questions. Alvina, any questions on your end? Alvina? She may have disconnected. Oh,
Welcome
there you are.
live.
Any questions on your end? Okay, so one question that we have out there is, how important is the trial period for you? And what's your ideal time of a trial?
So it really depends, for me anyway, it depends on the technology. So if it's as I call a plug-and-play app that's really extracting data out of QuickBooks to, create a dashboard or do reports, that might be, like the trial period, it might be okay for it to be a little bit shorter. If it's an app that's really a fundamental part of my client's business or my process, I definitely need a longer trial period. So at least 30 days, sometimes 60 or 90 days. Because if you are adopting new technology in a very integral part of your business, you need to make absolutely sure that it's got staying power, right? So it depends. That's my answer.
Yeah, I'll say for me the trial period, it's really like how much can I put other work aside and really focus on it. I definitely need the trial period because I go to conferences and I talk to a lot of people at the booth, and you can ask them what kind of, so many friends around, what kind of data do you push back and forth? You can ask exactly detailed. Do you push the custom fields? Do you, all sorts of questions. And you still have to go home and try it. So definitely a trial. I would say, though, like within the first 24 hours, I probably can really get a good grasp on entering some data and pushing it and seeing. But if you want to pull it into your workflow, I would say 30 days is good. And most of the apps on the App Store are going to do the 30-day free trial. So when I haven't finished trying it out and 30 days is over, that's because I got too busy and was working on other stuff. But definitely trying it out is the best way to find out if this is going to solve the pain point you're looking for.
Couldn't agree more. 30 days is kind of that minimum. I think 15 days isn't always enough to really get your head around a specific situation. But I love it when an app partner will say, okay, your 30 days is up, and you're like, I'm not done yet. Can I still play around? And they say, no problem. Take it for another 30. And that's important sometimes. I have one client that it's just so hard to get them locked down to get trained and everything. And I've had to extend so many times and over several months now. In fact, we haven't even started going live yet. So I need another trial before I can almost get it going, but they're okay with it. You just explain the situation, and they work with you. So I need somebody who's flexible. If it's just the day ends and there's like, too bad, pull out your credit card, well, I'm not really going to... Exactly.
But I'll even do that. Let me just throw in here. There's the concept of trying it out, trial. Absolutely, you need to do that to know how the integration works and the feature set works. And then there's free trial. If it's 30 days up, I will lay down the money and pay if I didn't get around to using it during the 30 days, because that app is probably, I already at that point have a pretty good idea that it's potentially going to solve some problems. So I don't have any problem with paying for the value these apps are offering.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to add one more thing to that. Not only is it essential to have a trial so our customers can try it, but I think if it's a product that we're going to use ongoing, then it's good that we have a demo account, and not for resale, not necessarily for our use, because I don't want to demo out our information. But if we have a demo account on there that we can show them and not have to download it, put it on their information, and then let them play with it. But sometimes just a demo account is a little bit better, so that we can play with the ins and outs of it, and then the customer can see that.
Well, and only a few apps offer that. It is. Only a few apps offer those free trials, and they are awesome because by the time you try to set up your own private environment to give a demonstration, you've done so much work already, and then they might just say no.
Right. So. But if it's one that we're going to be intricate with and we're going to put into our practice, and it sounds like we all kind of work the same, that we find those core ones that work for us, having those demo accounts is key to that so that you're not reinventing the wheel over and over.
So the trial is important. How important to you are partner programs, and what is your ideal partner program for an app?
So that's something that I'm exploring right now. Being a reseller, I have ProAdvisors underneath me, and we have a partner program where we're helping them find those things and moving from being just a ProAdvisor to a consultative and doing consultative sales with software and with apps and stuff. And so having a partner program and investing that time and setting up the demo and setting the accounts and learning the ins and outs, and then saying, I'm an extension of your sales force, it should be a compensated portion on there. So having either a discount or a commission back on that is part of ours. One of the things I've learned early on is, as consultants, we sell our time. I haven't found anywhere that I can buy more hours in the day. So we have to, if we want to raise our income level up, we can either raise our fees up, or we can have, with the things that we're already doing, selling the products, earn some money back on that. So we're not selling them products or technology just for the sake of selling it. We're selling them what they need to put into their company. And so getting compensated for that and having a partner program is I think, very key to that, so that they're showing a commitment to us just like we're showing a commitment to them.
I don't even know how to add to that, because that's exactly what a partner program should be. We're partners. We're strategic partners. We're business partners. And, I like to think of, when I'm talking with an app partner, they're important to my client, they're important to my business, and I like to know that it's a reciprocal arrangement, that both sides feel it's important. So that app partners that really show that faith in you as a business owner, and there is an incentive to resell or build it in somehow, that's important, because our time is valuable. So if there's a very thin partner program with an app, all things equal, I'm going to go with the app that has a better program and better support. Even if maybe the tool's not as good, I still feel I'm going to be better supported, hence my clients will be better supported. So it makes you feel good that you're dealing with a credible company, because they're taking that time to show the value that you bring to the equation, and they quantify it in their program.
Yeah, I'll just shout out some of the best features that are just coming to mind off the cuff for partner programs I've been involved in. A lot of them will have their own training on the app. How awesome. You can roll out an app and everyone can get trained by that app, and those are usually cloud-based. Do it on your own time, not so much a live training, but when you bring on new staff, you can have them take that app's training. So when we hire new staff, they go through QuickBooks Online certification training, then they hop onto Bill.com and take Bill.com's training, then you can get Method certified, you can get Expensify certified. So then I start to know that my staff are experts at this, and they get a badge, and it's bright and shiny logo you can put on your card, and then you can use that for marketing, right? Your website can show that you're experts at this. And the partner programs also will sometimes offer a place on their website where other people go to find their website, and then they find you from that, right? So referral programs, some of them have wholesale billing opportunities. So partner programs have a lot of options for sharing with us, because, as the app user, especially supporting multiple clients, we're going to be the influencers for that app through social media and through our client base.
And really, it all comes down to the availability of resources, right? So the resources to, support resources for training, resources for our clients. And I feel like that's what really makes a great partner program. Absolutely.
Well, I really want to thank you guys for coming. Love the conversation. So you guys out there, continue to stay tuned. We have minute-to-minute coverage of this conference of QuickBooks Connect, so you can visit our blog. And if you have any more questions, our guests are on social media. I am sure you know where they are already, so please reach out to them and reach out to us if any other questions. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on our blog. Take care.